What's good, everyone? It's Malik Washington. How y'all doing this fine day or evening, wherever you all are? I pray that all is well, and I pray for strength and love and understanding and resolve for many of you out there who might be struggling or lacking those very traits that I just mentioned. I want to dive right on into this topic because I it was funny to me, and I was sitting up there listening to some of these people talk, and I'm just like, you know, TikTok is literally an echo chamber for the mentally ill, and the reason I say that is because you got so many people on there who just they express nothing but their insecurities about everything. Like I've never seen so many young people that's just so broken inside that they just let their entire being just slip out on the internet, in which we all have issues. I have my own personal issues, but you're not going to see me sit up here and break and put it all out there on the internet for everybody to see. I have my moments, but if I need some help, I either go to therapy or I'll talk to somebody that's close to me, like my girlfriend or my dad or my mom or somebody with some degree of sense that's been in this world, that's been young, and they know what it's like to out here to be a young man, and you're struggling and being an adult, trying to make ends meet. But these young people today, it's like me, like myself, just I don't know, like they get on the internet and they just need so much attention. They need to garner so much of it. It's absolutely asinine. There were a few sad to say, there were a few black women who I was listening to, and a lot of people are talking about it now, where there's this white guy. He's going around basically on dates when with his own fucking money. He's having a good ass time, minding his business, doing whatever. And his goal is to have dated a woman of his preference throughout every single state in North America, right? So all 50 states. He dates within his preference, which is white women, as you can clearly see. If you YouTube it, you'll see the little TikTok, it'll pop up, and basically you'll see people talking about it, right? But particularly there's a few black women who come up and they talk about how the way he's dating, he needs more seasoning, or he needs to diversify, or he's not dating sisters that have this skin pigment, or in their case, dark skin pigment. Some other black woman and in this case, she's mixed, but she's real light skin, has long curly hair, but for the most part, she's a mixed girl, part black, probably more than likely part white. Nonetheless, she comes out and she says these women are gorgeous. She said, but why aren't we light or desirable? Why aren't women like us picked or chosen? And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, now, I don't understand this because the black community has this thing called pro-blackness and pan-Africanism that goes on. And I was once a part of the pro-black community, where they talk about how they want black people to stay together and keep the bloodlines pure and maintain the blackness, the skin color, the tone, the culture, all of that, right? And it's so interesting because a lot of them lambast people, or particularly black people who decide to date outside their race, in spite of the fact it's a small percentage, statistically speaking, of black men and women who date outside of their race anyway. Over 85% of the race actually even marries and deals within their own race, right? Particularly black men marry black women marry black men, and so on and so forth. It's been less, marriage has been less and less, but black men nonetheless do casually date and deal with black women. The other side, typically, who are dating outside of their race, they get lambasted by the mainstream black community because black people want black people to stick together, which it sounds nice. It sounds commendable. But even within that, we still screw up because we don't have any ounce of respect for one another. Apparently, we do all this talking and calling each other kings and queens and all this jazz, but our actions say otherwise. Kind of goes back to that other conversation about like when we talk about God and we talk about Yeshua and people claim to be believers, but their actions is something entirely different. Yeah, that's exactly what's going on. Neither here nor there. They talk about the interracial community so bad, you know what I'm saying, that they shame them for their preferences. And this is a similar yet differential situation, right? It's similar in the fact that you got black women actually out here who are super insecure. And that's not to say there aren't black men who are insecure as well, but we're particularly talking about this situation because these are black women who are actually addressing that situation and talking like this, right? And this is actually, it's funny, but at the same time, it's also sad. Simultaneously, it's sad because these women are so insecure. They're having such a hard time finding a man or even much less being with a man that they even have to go as far as to now not only try to police black men's preferences or black women's preferences of who they date outside of their race. Now you're trying to, I guess, dictate what a white man does outside within his own race. He's dealing with his own preference, his own people, his own kind, if however you wish to word it. And you all are coming out saying, oh, he will never date sisters like this skin pigment. Now, mind you, not trying to be funny, but why do you care? First off, the man is living his best life. He's doing whatever he wants to do with his money, with his preference. He has every single right in the world to go out here and deal with whoever he wants to deal with, even if that is white women. White people typically date within their race anyway. Except, and of course, you have your exceptions. Nonetheless, though, they deal with their own typically on a frequent basis. They're not too concerned about, black women or whatever it is that y'all have going on. If you do have white people that want to date black women, typically they're very few and far in between. But you all want to control the narrative on every single aspect of what a man does, whether if they are black or white. And I don't understand that. Date people who want to date you. Date people who want you. But in America, for some reason with women, some of these women, date people who are unavailable, date people who don't want you, date people who are not your preference. This is not a matter of race. This is not a matter of supremacy or nothing like that. This is a young man who simply is living his life and he wants to date all of these different white women within each state. Now, the black women we're making in front of the fact that all of them look relatively the same. Well, naturally, they probably do because he has a preference, right? They probably will look relatively the same. There's nothing wrong with that. But let these women come along. Oh, they have to all look completely different. And because it's not you that's being dated, all of a sudden it's a problem. When they want to date someone else, if they decide to date you, nobody can complain about your situation. But when they want to date somebody that's within their caliber, within their bracket, within their race, y'all have a problem with it. So black men can't date white women. Black women can't date white men. White men can't even date white women. So it's like, well, then what can anybody do at this point? Because y'all dictate everything. So what are people supposed to do? Like, y'all need to get some self-esteem about yourself. And I can't even believe that I used to be one of those people that actually was a part of this community. But even I had some degree of sense or some confidence or self-esteem about myself. The one thing I wasn't going to do was sit up here and let anybody police me on who or what my preferences are. And at that time, it was black women. And even right now, it's black women. My girlfriend is a black woman. Nonetheless, well, black and Native American, but that's neither here nor there. The point is, y'all act as if love is solely black and not anything else in the world. There are a variety of people out here that anybody can date, even if they want to date within their own race. And even me right now, I mean, my preferences have obviously changed. I like them all at this point. There was a point in time, and all my old buddies, they can tell you straight up, I used to love black women. Like, I wouldn't worship the ground they walked on. I will argue the hell out. I will argue a black woman down, because these motherfuckers like to keep shit up, right? Nonetheless, I still love them because I was raised by one. Not to mention, well, I grew up around them. I went to school with them. I knew what they were like. I knew their ups and downs. I knew that their mindsets, their attitudes, what they did and didn't like, which for the most part, a lot of them who I grew up with, they liked rogue people. But that's neither here nor there. That's an entirely different story, right? And that was around that time I used to think I was 100% pro-black. Like, man, it was so bad. And then when my father came into my life and I asked him about our lineage, and he was telling me how we were mixed with this and this and this, and I'm just sitting up there like, my feelings is getting hurt, because I genuinely sat up there and actually thought that I was 100% African, and that wasn't even the case. And my girlfriend, some of my relatives were looking at me strange for some change, and was just like, dude, how could you think that? I mean, look at you. You know, not trying to be evil or an asshole or nothing, but look at you. You're light skinned. That didn't come out of nowhere. And on top of that, I mean, African American history, due to slavery, a lot went down, which that's part of it in my case. My ancestry is a bit more complex and complicated than that. Not all aspects of my European heritage, which is what we're talking about with the mixed admixture and all that, was not entirely a result of slavery. One end of the spectrum happened as a result of actual love between a black and a white couple. So but the entire point is, at that time, it was all black everything. And that's pretty much what I was all about. That was my preference. That was my thing. I didn't give a shit about what a white person felt, what a black person felt. If I wanted that black woman, that's who I'm going after. And even right now, I'm the same way. If I decided that I wanted, hypothetically, if I wanted a white woman, right? If I wanted a Native American woman, if I wanted an Indian woman, if I wanted an Arabic woman, whoever it is, an Asian woman, which I like them all. I'm not going to let people dictate to me what I like because of my skin color, right? And if I only wanted to date black women, what do I look like listening to a white woman on a TikTok video fucking tell me who I should and shouldn't be dating? Why aren't you diversifying? How come you ain't dating no snow bunnies? Bitch, please, I'm not doing that. No. Maybe I don't want you. Maybe I don't like how you look. Maybe you too raw for me. I don't know. You know, and in this situation, I mean, even with this conversation, especially regarding those videos, I think is absolutely sad, because you have the opportunity to go out here and date whoever it is you want to date. There's plenty of opportunity, or as they say, there's plenty of fish in the sea. And the one thing you're focused on is one guy who goes to all 50 states and he decides that he wants to deal with the white women within his preference. Like, y'all need to get it together. It's never that serious. Never that serious. And even when you date within your own race, you still complain. So here we are. But my point is, ladies and gentlemen, this is the lesson behind this entire thing. Women like that need some guidance. And what I mean by guidance, you need some serious sit downs with someone who can literally ask you the right questions of why are you this insecure about someone else who you do not know dating within his race and wants to have fun with his money, because that's stupid. It's just as stupid as when people try to police you for dating outside of your race alone. But here you got black women actually this insecure because they don't feel desired by white men. I'm confused. Are you not all those same ones that wanted black men to stop dating white women and start dating you guys because y'all say that y'all understand the struggle, that y'all understand a black man's pain and everything that he's been through, the generational traumas, that y'all want to build king, y'all want to have little princes and princesses so that they can inherit things on this earth. Aren't y'all the same ones that do that? And yet now here comes a relative few, not everybody, but a relative few out of women who apparently have an issue with a man dating within his race now. You know what I'm saying? Like it's ridiculous. You're like, y'all need to get a real life. Get off TikTok, get off Snapchat, get off Instagram, get off Facebook. Stop being simmered with these pseudo ass lifestyles that people are living on the internet. Stop allowing these things to control how you look at life. Go out here and live life yourself. See things for what they really are, and maybe you won't feel so offended by every goddamn thing that's on the internet. Like, honestly, it's never that serious. It's never that serious. But the world wants you to, but media wants you to think that it's that grave. I wish I would go around feeling insecure because I see a white woman deciding that she wants to date white men from all 50 states. That looks, y'all, that's fucking retarded. I'm sorry. Only a slow person or a slow group of individuals could actually feel this way. It is absolutely ludicrous that y'all feel that way. And I don't think there's no helping you from here. Only thing I can say is go out here and live a life. And maybe change some of your ways, change your mindset, change who and what you prefer. Change your ecosystem. And most of all, rehabilitate your mind and get some help. Because that right there is twisted. And I don't know who can untangle that but you. So we'll leave it right there. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Malik Washington. I hope you enjoyed this video. Have a good day or good night wherever you reside. And I thank you for listening. If you got this far, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I do intend to diversify this podcast. So be on the lookout because it will be on other funnels of media outside of YouTube. So definitely. And I'll even keep you up to date. You know, worst case scenario, that you guys don't get the notifications. So, all right, people, peace out.